Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I'll be reviewing Monday Night Raw. Alright, so Monday Night Raw kicked off with a promo by Control. So, of course, Bailey said ding dong, referring to her old talk show, Ding Dong Hello. And she said that the audience hasn't seen her in forever, and that is how they receive her with boos, because they booed her. Like, they seriously booed her. And she plays off the crowd and saying that she doesn't want to be there either. Yet she makes reference of the fact that they enjoy cheering for champion Bianca Belair, who would be nothing without her. So it's true. Like, you didn't watch Raw? Yeah, you were at the Mets game, right? So she says she's gonna bring back the fighting spirit out of Belair. She says what's been missing in this women's division is hunger. She said she wants a women's division that's starving. And she accidentally butchers Dakota Kai's name. She calls her Dakota Sky, but she bounces back. Yeah, Mets game was better than Raw. So she bounces back from that. And then, of course, she's interrupted by Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair. Asuka telling them not to get too ahead of themselves because she and Asuka will win. And then they officially make the 3-on-3 challenge. It's going to be Control versus Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss at Clash at Castle. And then a brawl breaks out between the ladies. And then Alexa Bliss jumps from the barricade and takes everyone out. And then normally, in old school fashion, this would lead to a tag match. But no, that doesn't happen. We go to commercial break. And then we get Seth Freakin Rollins versus Angelo Dawkins. So last week, Seth Rollins took on Montez Ford, and this week he is taking on Angelo Dawkins. So decent match. Now Seth Rollins has a victory over both Street Profits in singles action. He beats a Dawkins with a pedigree, which I actually really like. Montez Ford got sent to the back after he tried to bring a chair into the match, and the referee ejected him. Heard that this show was booked like a Vince Bruce Pritchard show with Triple H wrinkled in. Oh, well, just Raw was subpar at best. Well, let's see. So I don't know where they're gonna go with the whole Rollins Street Profits thing. Right now, he's beat both of them, so we'll see where they go with that. All right. So then we get a quick backstage segment with the Mysterios and Edge. So Dominic looking more and more like Eddie Guerrero with that mullet and stuff. So Edge says he's got their backs and last week was an accident, but Dom doesn't trust Edge, so he attacks him, and Ray tells him that it was an accident. He's known Edge for over 20 years, and he's like family. I really like the fact that Rey Mysterio says that in Spanish. I love it when Latino wrestlers speak Spanish, so I think it adds more to what they're saying. But of course, Dominic is not feeling this because he says that Ray's known him for 25 years, and he walks away. Eddie is really Dominic's father. You got a Miz and Ciampa promo. Now, one thing that I noticed about this was that Ciampa didn't seem to like the fact that Miz answered for him. He was basically talking about AJ Styles, and Miz says that nothing's phenomenal about a man who sided with a celebrity. And so Ciampa is scheduled to face Bobby Lashley. So he's talking about how Harley Race believed in him, and he said he's dedicating a win to him tonight, and that tonight will truly be his moment, and that he feels for Lashley's sacrifice, but he's already lost. So we get Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Mic is kind of cracking. It is. Oh, I did bump into it right now. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? I hope it is. I kind of bumped into it, so hopefully it doesn't get affected by that. All right. So like you said, we got Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. And the one thing I did like about this is that before you start thinking, oh, we've seen this match before. Yes, we have seen this match before. Still cracking. Oh no, I hope me bumping into it didn't affect it. Let me change my settings. How about now? Is it still cracking? Oh, well, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. So the thing I really like about this segment is that Kevin Owens just comes out and he beats the tar. I mean the tar out of Ezekiel. Thanks. He just beats the living tar out of Ezekiel like this match. He doesn't even let Ezekiel get an offense in. Like he gives him a power bomb on the apron. Like he pounces him Ezekiel off the announce table, sends him crashing into the ring post, and then Ezekiel gets power bombed on the apron, and he gets taken out on the stretcher. So I don't know. I mean, does this mean that Triple H is going to bring back Elias? And Kevin Owens like really aggressive now. So I'm digging this new Kevin Owens. It means Ezekiel is being off TV. Yeah, he's probably going to get repackaged into maybe. Because remember, Ezekiel was like a whole Vince McMahon creation. So very curious to see if Triple H brings back the Drifter, Ezekiel. All right. So we get before the start of Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor, we get a Judgment Day promo, and he basically Finn Balor basically says that Edge and Rey, he thinks that Edge and Rey should fear them, and he said that Dom has already been abandoned by both of them. Judgment Day isn't afraid of anybody, and that fear is a product of your imagination, and the danger is very real. And Rey's gonna find out that he is danger. So Damian Priest says he's gonna be clear. So Damian Priest basically in the gist of his promo is that he's challenging Edge to a one-on-one match in 2 weeks in Toronto. So he says that Edge may have started Judgment Day, but Judgment Day will end him. So I'm actually really excited. Finally, we're gonna get Edge versus Damian Priest in Toronto. There's no way Edge is going to lose in his hometown of Toronto, Canada. That's for sure. Under Vince, probably, but under Triple H, I don't think Edge is losing in his hometown. Damian Priest will get booed right out of that building if he beats Edge. So right before, still cracking, but going in and out. Really? Oh no. Oh crap. Don't tell me that little bump actually. Okay, how's this one working now? Give me 1 second then, guys. Okay, how's that? So we get a very quick backstage segment with Rey Mysterio and Edge. And Edge basically offers to help Rey, but Rey tells him that Dom was come to his senses and Edge being out there will make things worse. So then this leads into Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. So, like, one of the things I like about this is that Finn Balor does a whole Eddie Guerrero thing. He does the Three Amigos. And Edge comes out and he attacks Priest and takes him to the stands. And as Rey's getting ready to finish this match, Rhea comes out with Dominic on, and she drops him on the ramp. And of course, this causes a distraction, allowing Finn Balor to pick up the win. So I honestly think this is going to end with Dominic turning on his dad, because I mean he keeps getting attacked by Judgment Day. His dad, I don't want to say hasn't done anything to protect him, but I honestly feel that's what this is going to lead to. It's going to lead to Dominic turning on his dad. Maybe joining Judgment Day, but he's going to definitely turn. That's what it seems like it's heading to. So then after this, we get the women's tag team title tournament. Round 1. It's Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Tamina and Dana Brooke. So they showed the bracket for this tag team title tournament, and it's interesting to note that there are no empty spots in this. So let me see. They've been teasing Dominic heel turn. It's coming at Clash of Castle. Yeah, it probably is. So there's no empty spots. So I guess my theory of there being a mystery spot in this tournament is out the window. So that could possibly mean that if Sasha and Naomi do come back, they're going to come back and confront the winners of this tournament. Maybe it'll be like a John Cena CM Punk type of thing where you had a CM Punk come back with the title and then John Cena's champion. They each hold up their title. So it'd be interesting to see. But that's what it seems to be headed on. So obviously this match was a bit predictable. I don't think Tamina and Dana Brooke stood a chance against Dakota Kai and Io Sky. But I will say, like, Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they work nice together. My favorite spot in this is when Dana Brooke, like, she was gonna attack Dakota Kai send her into the barricade, but Bayley pulled her out of the way, and Dana Brooke ended up crashing herself into the barricade. And then Io Sky wins this by doing a moonsault to Tamina. So they advanced to the next round. And so next we had a KO segment. I have to say this segment was very interesting, not because of what Kevin Owens was saying. He was just basically saying that this is a perfect opportunity to remind everybody that this is a Kevin Owens show, but because of what was going on in the background. So if you look very closely in the background, there's like a car accident. A car like crashed or rammed itself into like one of the poles and stuff, and you see like Dewdrop and Nikki ASH who decided to put Tamina in a tournament match. Hey, they needed tag teams, so makes sense. And with Ezekiel gone, will Elias come back and get some revenge? Maybe. So, like I said, so you can see like Dewdrop in the background. You see Nikki ASH in the background. There's like a whole car accident taking place, but they don't. And while Kevin Owens is being interviewed, so that plays into an angle. Dana Brooke and Tamina are not a tag team, LOL. So then we get the United States championship match. It's Ciampa versus Bobby Lashley. One of the things that I like about this was that video package they played before the title match. Again, Triple H trying to restore prestige to the U.S. title. And Ciampa, because like I said, he dedicated this match to Harley Race. He comes out in a Harley Race robe, which I thought was pretty cool. And like throughout this whole match, like Ciampa versus Lashley, it was a great match if you ask me, a very great match. And so the Miz attempts to distract Bobby Lashley throwing Ciampa at the Miz. He threw Ciampa at Miz, which I thought was funny. And so like after Bobby Lashley speared Ciampa, like you thought the match was over, but like the Miz, clever as he is, put Ciampa's foot on the rope. And like at one point, Ciampa rips up the top turnbuckle, and Bobby Lashley actually goes crashing into face first into the exposed turnbuckle, and you think it's over, but it's still not over. Elias launches his Revenge World Tour walk with Elias. Now, if you're paying attention to commentary, at one point, Ciampa applies a Gargano escape, and Corey Graves announces sometimes when you're looking for a submission, you have to do it yourself, referencing to DIY. Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, they were in Cleveland, which is Johnny Gargano's hometown. And that's not all. If you look at Ciampa's tweet, he put Gargano's symbol in that tweet. So again, dropping hints about Johnny Gargano appearing. And unfortunately, it was not meant to be Bobby Lashley defeating Ciampa with the Hurlock, Ciampa tapping out. But it was still a great match. Ciampa, even though he lost, he looked really good in defeat. So DIY was one of the best to have teams in NXT. So I can't complain about Ciampa losing because he looked good in defeat. And then next, we got the bathroom break match. It's a 2-on-1 handicap match, Omos versus Spencer Slade and Andrea Guercio. I'm not sure. This was a glorified squash match. There's nothing more to say or to add. It was a squash match. It seems like they're trying to rebuild Omos from the ground up. Triple H has got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. He does. I don't know what Triple H can do to try to rebuild Omos. So we'll see. All right. So then we get a Seth freaking Rollins promo backstage. Really? Omos was on this show? Triple H, what happened? He's probably trying to rebuild Omos. But who knows? Who knows? Triple H keep Omos off TV. Yeah, we really don't need to see Omos. So, Seth Rollins, he gets upset because they basically brought him backstage for that interview to talk about Riddle. And he does a funny impersonation of Riddle, which I thought was hilarious. And he calls himself the gatekeeper of the industry. And he makes a comment saying Riddle is better at flushing his own potential down the drain. And if you don't believe me, ask Dana White. I was like, hold the phone. What? He's making reference to Matt Riddle getting released from UFC. Apparently, Matt Riddle smoked weed. Okay, so Dana White said that according to a Bleacher Report, Dana White had said that the reasons behind Riddle's release go beyond simply testing positive for marijuana. Everybody's going to have an excuse of why they were cut. Matt Riddle did an interview before the fight where he said, I smoke weed so that I don't beat my children, and then he tests positive for it. He's a effing moron, White said following the UFC 158 pre-fight press conference. That's why he's not here. He's cut because he's a moron. So Seth Rollins acknowledging that. And I actually really like that they did that because, like, you never see WWE acknowledging past history, which so I really, really like that they did that. Really did. And he basically ends his promo by saying that if Matt Riddle doesn't hang up those flip-flops, he's going to Cody Rhodes him out that door. Yeah, so. Then we had a good match between Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable. I actually really like this match. Gable putting Dolph Ziggler in that ankle lock. But Dolph Ziggler ends up winning this with the super kick. And then he escapes before Otis can attack him. So then afterwards, we get a backstage segment with Nikki, ASH, and Doudrop. And okay, so again, this is not what they said that was relevant. It was going on backstage. So as they're cutting their promo, you can see. Remember that car accident I said about earlier? That car's being towed. It's being towed, and then it cuts to Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and they said that they're not gonna get their crushed dreams. They were getting manifested. And as you see them, they're approached by Control, and then security guards are running. So you're wondering, what the heck is going on? I was wondering what the heck is going on. And remember, they're in Cleveland, so I kept thinking, does this have to do with Johnny Gargano? And so this leads into the no DQ match, AJ Styles versus the Miz. Great match, by the way. Styles bouncing the Miz off the announce table. Styles grabbing the kendo stick, but then teasing it, grabbing the steel chair. Then he grabs the table. Ciampa, of course, gets involved in this, and he ends up getting put through a table by AJ Styles. Oh, my favorite spot would have to be when the Miz threw the chair at AJ when he attempted the phenomenal forearm. And then the Miz went head first into a steel chair, and then I know who was behind that accident later on in the night. Yeah, I'm getting to it. And so then AJ Styles does the Styles Clash to the Miz, and he is victorious. Now, they kept stalling for a little bit. So I was like, okay, wait, there's 2 minutes left. What's going to happen? What's going on? I'm again, I kept thinking they're in Cleveland. It's is it going to be Johnny Gargano? It wasn't Johnny Gargano. But they cut to the audience and you see the security guards. Like you can see AJ looking at the security guards and like they're like trying to arrest someone. And it's none other than Dexter Lumis. So Dexter Lumis is back. And if you guys recall, he was Indy Hartwell's husband on NXT and part of The Way along with Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Austin Theory, and Indy Hartwell. So it's very interesting that they bring back Dexter Lumis now. And they tease Johnny Gargano. I think it's only a matter of time before Johnny Gargano actually shows up on Monday Night Raw. Dexter Lumis, I think, was behind the accident. I think he was behind the accident too. But I actually really like this. It's like it's a cliffhanger. Now we're gonna have to wait to find out next week on Raw to see what happened. I'm glad that Dexter Lumis is back. Yeah, me too. So good way to end Monday Night Raw. Actually like this. I honestly liked everything about Raw today. There's not really one thing I disliked. If that Kevin Owens and Ezekiel match would have just been an actual match, I probably would have given this a lower of a score. But it did what it was supposed to. And actually, no, let me backtrack. The one thing I didn't like was that 2-on-1 handicap match. I felt like that was totally unnecessary and I could have done without that. This show sounds like a 5 out of 10 for me. Really? Now, for me, I think this is a 7 at best. Just because if it wasn't for that handicap match, I would have given this an 8. But nah. This is an 8. This was a 7 out of 10 for me. But overall, good show. Triple H, started slowly changing things around. And we got to wait and see what happens, next week with Dexter Lumis. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.